You are damaging your relationships because you don't know how to communicate effectively, and I'm here today to help you stop that and get out of your own way so you can have success not only in your business relationships, but your personal relationships as well. This is the first of a 4-part series on communication, and today we are diving into texting. I'm going to give you my 5 cardinal rules that you've got to adopt if you want to effectively communicate and have positive relationships. Stick around.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
Texting is so quick and so easy. I'm even guilty of shooting off a text message when I should have picked up the phone and made a call. What's the problem though? It's so fast and you're in control of how much time you're going to invest. So sometimes it seems like the simpler solution to just type out a message and zap it off where you think it needs to go. But oftentimes we're setting ourselves up for failure. The reason is we're misinterpreted on the other side. So what happens when you're misinterpreted? Well, it holds you back. When I talk to employers who are looking to promote people from within, if they have concerns about those people, 95% of the time, those concerns are rooted in that person's communication. If that person has negative communication patterns, then there's a question about whether they should be promoted or not. We're getting in our own way because we're not communicating effectively. This is the first of a 4-part series on communication, and the reason that I've devoted the first episode to texting is because that is the area of the greatest offenses. You've got to get this right, and not just for your business relationships. These rules work in your personal life as well. You need to be using communication to enrich your relationships, not get in your own way and hold yourself back from success. So let's start off straight away with rule number 1. You have got to keep it positive. Anything negative is a conversation. Absolutely. Do not express negativity in text messages, especially negativity where you want to add a lot of adjectives in. Don't do that. Text messages are really meant for declarative statements. I'm going to be late. Be there in 5 minutes. Where are you? Would you like me to order? Things like that. They aren't meant as a conversational tool, and so many of us are messing up and we're using them that way. And we're communicating negative things. When you communicate something negative via text and it's interpreted on the other side, you can't control that interpretation on the other side. So in order to keep your image positive when it comes to texting, keep your messages positive in all of your texts. An added bonus to keeping it positive is it gives you the opportunity to add in kind little words like the ones that you see up on your screen. Please, thank you, and tell people how much you appreciate them. Give them, kind of a punch in the shoulder to say, hey, good job. It gives you the opportunity to put some personality into it in an appropriate way for business. Think of it as the icing on a cupcake. You're able to give them some substance, but then also leave them with something sweet. Rule number 2, never, ever give feedback over text. That is for a conversation or email, which we will cover in the upcoming episodes of this 4-part series. Do not do anything serious over text, such as I've heard people breaking up with each other over text. Obviously, that's a personal life example, but you wouldn't fire somebody over text either. You wouldn't say, you're fired, don't come in again. Or if you would, we need to talk, because that's inappropriate. So keep it very neutral. Either send positive messages or very neutral messages. But if you have something negative to communicate, pick a different form of communication than texting. Rule number 3, use your words. Leave emojis out of the situation if you're texting somebody for business. And also, when it comes to abbreviations, if you're going to tell somebody happy birthday, don't text them HBD. Leave the abbreviations out. It's fine to use it for your very close friends, your family, but leave abbreviations out of business communication unless it is something that everyone uses, such as if you work for a company like the American Automobile Association, AAA. Everybody knows what AAA is. So that would be fine, but I'm talking about abbreviating sentences or words. Just stay away from that. Use your words, show everybody that you know how to spell them, and type them out in their full format. Moving on to rule number 4. Do not ever text last minute changes. There are several reasons for this, but the number one reason for this is you are assuming that person is going to receive the message. And what if they don't? What if you're changing the venue for lunch and they didn't get the message and they're halfway across town at another restaurant and you lose that client? What if the person is needing to bring something for the meeting that you haven't discussed before and they don't get that message? They're going to come unprepared and then you're all going to look bad. So just don't send any last minute changes. This is especially important for cancellations. I have been sitting at a restaurant 5 minutes after I was supposed to meet someone, and I got a text from them, "So sorry, not gonna make it." It's fine. I understand life happens and plans change, and sometimes you're not gonna make it, or sometimes you lose track of time and you look up and you think, "Oh my goodness, I was supposed to meet George 10 minutes ago." That is worth a phone call. "So sorry, not gonna make it" as a text message is completely inappropriate. How do you make the person feel on the other end? How would you feel? I understand that the person who sent me that text message wasn't trying to make me feel completely unimportant and minimized, but that's exactly what communicating that via text is. If you are in a situation where you cannot make the phone call, but you still need to communicate that, then it would be acceptable to say, "I'm so sorry, I know I'm late, cannot talk with you now, something has come up, I apologize." Be a little bit wordier with your text messages. I normally would not advise you to be wordy with text messages at all, but that is really the only case where I want you to go on a little bit farther. Don't explain what's come up, don't talk about any negative situation. Just say, "I will call you later as soon as I am able," and then do call that person later as soon as you are able and express a true and earnest apology because they were waiting on you and you stood them up. You may have had a flat tire. If so, your text can say, "Flat tire, so sorry, hope lunch is delicious," or whatever. But, emergencies come up. It's fine to say that. But if your boss is being a jerk and he's watching the clock and you can't get out and you're feeling all this stress and anxiety, that's not the time to express that. Say, "Work has taken over, cannot make it, I'm so sorry, cannot talk right now." Let them know the reason that you're not calling is because you are prohibited from taking that step in that moment. It's very important. You're letting yourself off the hook there. And then tell them that you'll call them later. And always, when you tell someone that you're going to call them later, follow up. If you're not good at remembering to call them later, set a reminder. That's what your smartphone is for. Rule number 5, always reread your messages before you hit send. There are several reasons for this. You may have mistyped something. Something may be phrased oddly that you didn't catch when you were typing it in. And so as you're rereading it, you think, "Oh, this will be much more easily understood if I switch those words around." And the other reason is autocorrect is terrible. I don't know how many times autocorrect has made something correct for me or versus making it incorrect for me. But I think that if we were weighing these on a scale, the incorrect ones would be in the lead. So don't trust autocorrect. And if you're dictating the text, oh goodness gracious, just don't do that. If you're driving and you're dictating a text so that you're not texting while you're driving, good, don't text while you're driving, but don't send that text until you can stop, look at it, and then hit send. Because some of the mistakes that are most common in the business world with text misspellings from either dictation that wasn't translated properly or autocorrect mistakes can get kind of dicey and embarrassing. If you really want a good laugh, just go to Google and type in embarrassing autocorrect mistakes in text, and you'll get a ton of images. There's also a website that is completely devoted to these types of images, and I'm putting a few of them up here right now, and they're really funny. And these are funny and haha because it's happening to somebody else, but just look at some of these and imagine if they were yours. Imagine if they were between you and your boss. It wouldn't be okay at all. So just play it safe and give all of your texts just a once over to make sure that you're not sending some really embarrassing Freudian slip to your boss. Also, if you are texting multiple people at the same time, if you're in different text conversations that are both active, make sure that your text is going back to the same person. This is a personal bonus from me because this almost happened to me once. I almost sent a text that was meant for my husband to my boss, and it wasn't entirely inappropriate, but it would have needed some explanation. So it was really a good thing that I noticed that it was typed into the wrong text response conversation at that time. If this has been any help to you at all, or if you've even found it amusing, give me a thumbs up below. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so that you will find out every time we drop a video, every Monday, new episodes, and you don't want to miss the next 3 in this 4-part series. Next week, we're going to look at email mistakes, and I'm going to give you my top rules for what to do and what not to do in email. You don't want to miss it. Bye.